Hello everybody, welcome to game 137 in the Chicago White Sox season replay. They just took it on the chin in Oakland, losing 3 of 4, and they're kind of on a skittish downhill slide. They are 9 games under what they performed in real life in the replay. They are standing at 70 and 66, so they got some work cut out for them, but it doesn't get easy, as Ringo Starr once saying, you know it don't come easy, because Nolan Ryan is on the mound for the Angels. And this is the first game of a doubleheader. In fact, they have 2 doubleheaders scheduled in this California series, one at the beginning of the series and one at the end of the series. So they're pitching. It's a good thing the September rosters have a lot of pitchers on them, because they're going to be wearing out some arms in this stretch of games against California. All right, the Angels coming to the game 69 and 65, so they're now a virtual tie for 4th place in the AL West. They're both 12 games back of league-leading Texas, so hopes of a pennant is gone for both teams, but they are going to play out the string and see what happens. I did ballpark checks, or weather checks rather. It was good weather, so average weather. So it's a 1 to 5 for singles here at Anaheim. Home runs 1 for lefties only, and righties are 1 to 11. All right, so let's look at the starting lineups. Ralph Garr, Alan Bannister, George Orta, Richie Zisk, Oscar Gamble, Jim Spencer, Chet Lemon, Eric Soderholm, and Jim Essien. And then for the Angels, Thad Bosley, Jerry Remy, Willie Aikens, Dave Kingman, Don Baylor, I believe his name is Danny Goodwin, the DH, Dave Chalk, Rance Mulliniks, and finally doing the catching will be Terry Humphrey. All right, so it's Nolan Ryan against Francisco Barrios. And Nolan Ryan's got some very interesting stats. He is 23 and 7 on the replay with a 3.12 ERA. This will be start number 34. He's completed 18 of them with 3 shutouts. 274 in the 3rd innings pitched, 194 hits allowed, 220 walks, 294 strikeouts, and 15 homers allowed. All right, so I've got the stats here in front of me. I'll just show you what I was reading off here just by hand, but I will read them off as we go. Barrios enters the game 9 and 12, 4.38 ERA, 28 start coming up, 2 complete games and a shutout, 181 in the 3rd innings pitched, 178 hits, 57 walks, 91 strikeouts, and 19 home runs. All right, so Nolan Ryan has finished those warm-up tosses. This is game 1 of a doubleheader played on September the 8th. And Ralph Garr stepping into the box, and we'll see if the Sox can get anything done here in game 137. Here we go. Nolan Ryan. 3-9 for Garr. He's going to fly to left, and there's one away. Oh, I forgot to mention Ralph Garr is hitting 273, 6 homers, and 45 runs driven in. Here's Alan Bannister. He is carrying a 15-game hitting streak into this game. He's hitting 281, 3 homers, and 42 runs driven in, but that 15-game hitting streak against Nolan Ryan could be in jeopardy. 2-4 is a ground ball to third. Chalk's got it. 2 down, and Bannister is retired. Here's George Orta. He is hitting 278, 12 homers, and 60 runs driven in. 3-7, and that's a fly to center. So Nolan Ryan, a 1-2-3 frame against the Sox here in the top of the first. We go to the bottom of the first. Chicago nothing, and California coming to bat. Francisco Barrios finishing up his warm-up tosses. Leading off will be center fielder Thad Bosley, and the Angels may have some trouble in their outfield. They have Kingman in left, who's a 5, Bosley in center is a 4, and Baylor in right is a 4, and all 3 of their error ratings are over 10. So I don't think I've ever seen that in an outfield before, where the outfielders are all either a 4 or 5, and their error ratings are all above 10. So if Chicago gets the ball in the outfield, it could be an adventure. Right now, though, Thad Bosley will lead off. He's hitting 317, no homers, and 5 runs driven in against Francisco Barrios. 2-11, ground ball to second. That's Orta's territory, 1 away. Bosley is retired. Here's Jerry Remy, speaking of second baseman. He's hitting 272, 1 homer, and 48 runs driven in. 110, and that's a ground ball to first. Spencer will take it right to the bag, 2 down. Keeps the speedy Remy off the bases. Here's Willie Mays Aikens, and he is hitting a measly 196 with no homers and 4 RBI. That's a 4-7 against Barrios, and it's a 1-7 single. 8-20, you will line it to order. And that's a 19, so he lines it to order. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for both teams. As we go to the second, no score. Barrios and Ryan. So Ryan back out. Will be facing Richie Zisk, the right fielder. I'm sorry, he's going to play. He's actually a DH in this game, as Gamble's in right field. So Zisk, as the DH, comes into this game as the Sox leading hitter, hitting 310, 20 homers and 80 RBIs. So he's almost got the triple crown for the Sox. He leads in average and RBI, but Gamble's got him by 3 home runs. But here we go, Richie Zisk. 5-7, and that's a walk. That's something Ryan has done quite a bit this year. That is now walk number 221 for Nolan Ryan on the season. Zisk is an E stealer. He will not be held. That'll bring up Oscar Gamble. Gamble, 289, 23 homers and 70 RBIs. He has been slumping because it wasn't long ago he was hitting 300. Oh, sorry, I forgot to roll the D20 to see if there's a ball for a pass ball. And there's not, so let's re-roll these for Gamble. 1-8, and that's a solid home run for Oscar Gamble. A 2-run shot preceding the walk precedes it, but Oscar Gamble increases his lead in the Sox home run total. That's his 24th homer and his 71st and 72nd RBI, and the Sox lead it by the score of 2-0. So they make Ryan pitch from the stretch and made him pay for it. Here's Jim Spencer, first baseman, hitting 242, 16 homers and 64 runs driven in. 6-10, and that's a fly ball center field X. So again, it's an adventure in the outfield. Center fielder is Bosley. He's a 4 and an E16. 4 and a 3. That's going to drop in for a base hit and probably a double. A 4 and a 3 for a center fielder is a double, and he's an E16. So he has to avoid 7. He has to avoid 4, 7, 14, 16, and 18. And that is a 14. And that's one he could not avoid. That's a 2-base error. So that run will score. The double plus the 2-base error. So Spencer will double. And it's a 2-base error. He will come all the way around to score on the E8. So how about that? An E8. 2-base error on Thad Bosley after the double, and that's not an inside the park home run, but the run will score. It's 3-0 Sox, and they're taking it to Nolan Ryan here in the early going. Of course, Ryan's defense not helping him either. So that's going to bring up Chet Lemon. He's hitting 261, 12 homers, 65 runs driven in. That's a 5-7, and that's another walk. So Nolan Ryan finds that walk again. Lemon will have to be held because he's a C stealer. And I'll bring up Eric Soderholm. He is hitting 277, 20 homers, 59 driven in. Check the D20, nothing's happening. Soderholm, a 1-5. Fly ball to left, and that's going to be out number 1. First out of the inning. Brings up Jim Essien, the catcher. He's hitting 272, 9 homers, 43 driven in. Nothing on the 20. 6-2 for Ryan's a fly ball left field X, and that's Kingman. He's even worse. He's a 5, E10. So he is a 5. Can he even get to it? A 5 and a 5, he will not get to that. That's going to be a double, 2 stars. So Lemon will go to third, but he could score if there's an error involved. Kingman is an E10. He's got to avoid 4, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And that's a 10, so it won't be an error, but it will be a double. Double for Jim Essien, as again, that woeful outfield range is coming into play. Runner did have to stop at third. So with 1 out, runner at second and third. Infield's going to have to come in. Here's Ralph Garr. And nothing on the 20. So the infield is in, trying to choke the runoff. 6-6, and that's another walk by Nolan Ryan. So he's having all sorts of issues. And what do you know it? They couldn't get anything going against Oakland pitching, but as soon as they hit Nolan Ryan, they start, laying waste to him. So bases loaded, 1 out. Here's Bannister again. He's got a 15-game hitting streak he's trying to extend. 1, it's a potential wild pitch. That's a 15 for Nolan Ryan. He could wild pitch in a run. Whoops, he could wild pitch in a run here. And he does. It's a wild pitch, and that's going to score Lemon. So how about that? We've had a run score on an error, and now a run score on a wild pitch. Moves runners to second and third. The infield's going to have to come back in again. Check for the wild pitch again, and there's not one. But second and third, infield in. So the infield drawn in could help Bannister get that hit he needs. 5-2 though is off of Ryan, but it is a split chance. 1-6 is a single. Anything else, it could be a 7-20, and it's a ground ball double play. So 1-6, he gets the hit. It's a 10, it's a double play. 5-4-3 around the horn. No, I'm sorry. The wild pitch took the double play away. My bad. Ground ball third base A. Let's check the runners. I'll use my little cheat sheet that I use. Ground balls, runner at second and third, ground ball A, the runner has to hold. So the runner's not out at the plate, he just holds at third. So it's a 5-3 ground out for out number 2. And that's going to bring the 9th man to bat in the inning, George Orta. Nothing on the 20. Infield back at normal depth. 6-12, that's another fly ball left field X. That's Kingman again, that's trouble. Remember, he's a 5. 5 and a 2. Oh, as it gets worse. 5 and a 2 is a triple. That's going to clear the bases. See if there's any error. That's a 7. Let's see, did he have a 7? There is no error, but it is a triple, a base clearing triple for George Orta. That's going to clear them all. And Nolan Ryan now is fatigued, as he is now given up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 runs. 7 runs in the inning. They batted around, as Richie Zisk, who led off the inning with a walk, will come back to bat again. It's 7-0 Sox. This is totally something I was not looking to see happen. So now, I'm sorry, it's not 7, it's 6. I filled in Orta by mistake. He's the one that tripled, so need my whiteout, I guess, for that, but I don't have it with me, so I'll have to remember that's not a run, that's just a triple. So we'll roll for the D20, nothing. So it's 6-0, not 7-0, my mistake. Zisk, 1-4. That's a ballpark single check, and it's only a 1-5, but if he gets a 1-5, it will be 7-0. Nope, he's going to end up rounding to third to end the inning. That was part of the second inning, so now I'm going to move everything over 1 inning for the batting around. So 6 runs for the Sox here in the top of the second. And boy, the California ineptitude in the outfield just showed itself right there. Exhibit A, B, and C there, with all those outfielders running into trouble. 6-0. Got their work cut out for him. Here's Kingman. Kingman just came over in a trade, so he's only played 1 game. He's 1 for 4. No homers and an RBI. Against Barrios, 3-8. He's got a chance to make up for some of those blunders with his offense. 1-17 is a double. And it's an 18, so it's a single for Kingman. He's there for a stick. He's not there for anything else. I'm surprised they wouldn't DH him and have Goodwin in the outfield, but that's just the way they played it. Here's Don Baylor, and Baylor, right fielder, hitting .233. 19 homers, 75 runs driven in. Nothing on the 20. We get a 3-7 on, oops, should be Baylor, not Kingman. 3-7 on Baylor is a fly to center. And there's one away for Mr. Goodwin, Danny Goodwin, DH. He is hitting .165, no homers and 5 runs driven in. Nothing on the 20. Whoops, the white die did not go through, so we re-roll. 5-8 against a lefty. That's a ground ball second base B. That's going to be a fielder's choice, 4-6. Goodwin will take over. He will not be held, of course. And Dave Chalk, the batter. Chalk hitting .273, a homer and 39 driven in. Nothing there. Chalk. 5-11. That's a ballpark single check. Again, a 1-5 will be a base hit. 19, so he's going to end up lining to short. Inning's over, so nothing doing there for the Angels. And it's still 6-0 as we go to the third. Nolan Ryan's going to come back out. He's going to, because they're playing a doubleheader, so they're going to have to keep him in there. If he hits those dots, it'll be a base hit. These strikeouts here, particularly at 5 and 6, turn into hits. So do this one and that one. So He's going to lose some strikeouts, but they really don't have much choice. Here's Gamble. He homered in his first at bat. 4-8. 4-8 is a strikeout for Nolan Ryan. One away. Brings up Jim Spencer. 5-8. 5-8 is a ground ball second base X. That's Jerry Remy. Remy is a 2 E21. 2 and a 7. He'll get to that. E21. E21 and a 14. E21 and a 14 for a second baseman. There's a 13 but no 14, so Remy will make the play. 2 up, 2 down. That brings up Chet Lemon. 1-7 for Lemon. That's a walk. So Lemon walks. He will not be held. He's not going to try to steal up 6-0, so they're just going to let it go. 2 is a potential pass ball or a balk. It's a potential pass ball, and Humphrey has a pass ball rating of 1. So no pass ball. So we drive on. Soderholm. 5-9, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. So Nolan Ryan gets through the third. They want him at least to go 5. They got to save some of that bullpen for these double headers. Even with the expanded rosters, you don't want to be dipping to your bullpen this much. All right, so Barrios will be facing Rance Mulliniks, who has not hit yet. Neither has Humphrey. So Mulliniks steps into this game 241 with 2 homers and 37 driven in. It's a 6-8 against Barrios, and that's a fly to right field. 1 away. That will bring up Terry Humphrey. 210 for Humphrey, and he's going to ground it to third. Soderholm is there. 2 down. So Barrios pitching very well early on. Here's Bosley. 5-7. That's a strikeout. So Barrios. 3 shutout frames, and the Sox finally look like the Sox of old here as they are taking it to the Angels. Here is Essien. He will lead things off. Essien doubled his first trip when Kingman couldn't get it. 5-10. 5-10's ground ball third base X. That's chalk. It's a 3 E25. 3 and a 12. He'll get to that. E25. E25 and a 15. That could be problematic. E25. There is a 15, and it's a 2-base error. 2-base error on chalk. E5. So not only are they not getting to the balls, but that's also now the second error in 4 innings. So they're just butchering everything. And here's Ralph Garr. Essien, of course, not being held. 3-4 for Garr, and that's a potential home run right there. 1-7 would be his 7th home run, and 8-20 would be a RBI double. It is an 11. It's an RBI double for for Ralph Garr. As Essien comes around to score, it is now 7-0. Favor the Sox. Bannister still looking. All these hits in the hit parade, and Bannister is 0 for 2, and he's got a 15-game hitting streak he's trying to extend. 6-9, ground ball shortstop A. That's going to freeze the runner out number 1. So Bannister trying to get that hit, but so far he's 0 for 3. We'll get probably 2 more at bats. Here's Orta, nothing on the 20. Orta 3-10, ground ball second base C. That'll move the runner to third. But now there are 2 outs for Richie Zisk. So Richie Zisk, the batter. Zisk 5-8 against Ryan, and that's a ground ball second base X. Again, that's Remy, a 2E21. 2 and a 12, he'll get to that. E21. E21 and a 12. 13's an error, but not a 12, so he makes the play. But another unearned run scores. It's now 7-0 Chicago. And they're going to keep Ryan in there. He has not hit those little dots yet, so if he had some decent fielding, he might still be all right. All right, here's Jerry Remy to lead things off. 2-5, and he struck him out. So Barrios just cruising along. All the hype went to Ryan, but Barrios under the radar is having a wonderful game. 5-7, that's another strikeout. 3 strikeouts in a row going back to last inning. Here's Kingman. Kingman did single his first time. 2-4. He's going to walk this time, so he does reach base twice. And that'll send up Don Baylor. Flew to center his first chance. 5-9, and that is a potential home run on a 1-4. 5-20, he flies to Gar. And it's a 1, it's gone. Don Baylor, a 2-run homer. So that 2-out walk cost Barrios 2 runs right there as Baylor connects, and that is home run number 20. RBIs 76 and 77 for Baylor. And the lead is cut to 7-2. Here's Danny Goodwin, 2 outs, bases clear. 6-8, and that's a fly to right. Hauled in by Gamble, and the inning is over. So 7-2 is your score through 4 innings here in Anaheim. And Ryan, of course, will come back out. And he'll be facing Oscar Gamble. Gamble has homered and struck out. 2-5, and he's got a 1-7 chance for a single. 8-20, he will line it to Remy. And that's a base hit for Oscar Gamble. As the D20 was kind, Gamble will not be held. Here's Spencer. 2, so it's a chance for a balk or a pass ball. That's a 1. A balk rating on Ryan is a 3. No balk there, so we just continue on. Spencer 4-7. That's a 4-7 is a strikeout. So that's 1 away. And that brings up Chet Lemon. Lemon has walked twice. Nothing on the D20. 4-10. 4-10's a ground ball shortstop X. That is Mullenix. He's a 3-28. 3-15. Good play. E28 and a 9. E28 and a 9. There is no E28 and a 9. 3-15 is a G1, so it's a double play. 6-4-3. So just what Nolan Ryan ordered right there to get him out of that and keep the score at 7-2. But we've seen this movie before with the Sox, so I'm not counting any leads safe. They have been known to blow leads in the past. Here's Dave Chalk. He lined to short his first trip. Chalk, 3-11, and that's going to be a line out right to Soderholm. Oops, down here. Line out to Soderholm, 1 away. Brings up Rance Mullenix. 4-9. 4-9's a solid single to right field. So Mullenix is aboard. He will not be held. And here's Terry Humphrey. Nothing on the 20. Humphrey. 4-6. Struck him out. So Barrios with the strikeout. 2 down. Now you can get out of it with Thad Bosley. Nothing on the 20. 4-8. And that's a single, 2 stars. So the inning continues with runners now at the corners. And 2 outs. Bosley's a C stealer, but with the score 7-2, they're not going to hold him on. And he's not going to try to steal. Let's see if Remy can drive him in. That's a 2. Possible balk or pass ball. 5 is a pass ball. Pass ball rating on Essien is a 2. And that's an 8, so no pass ball. So we try again. Remy 4-10. That's a ballpark single check. And it's a 1-5. And it's a 2, so it's a base hit, 1 star, but it will score the run from third. And all of a sudden it's 7-3, so Angels certainly not out of it yet. 7-3, and that brings up Willie Aikens. Nothing for that. Aikens. 2-8 for Aikens, flies to left to end the inning. But now Barrios all of a sudden is giving up 3 runs in 5 innings, so don't count the chickens yet. We go to the 6th, still 7-3, and Ryan still out there, has somehow avoided all those dots, but they're going to keep him in there against Soderholm. 6-6, and he finally got, no, I'm sorry, 6-6 would have been that's 5-6. 6-6 is a walk. I was getting ready to say he finally got burned by that, but he walks him. And that brings up Essien. Soderholm will not be held. Bullpen activity now for California, finally. Nothing there. Let's see. Essien, 4-5. That is a strikeout. So he gets Essien on the strikeout. And for the Angels, they're looking for long relief. So they do have right-hander Mike Barlow loosening in the pen. So Essien down on strikes, 1 away, and that brings up Gar. Nothing on the 20. Gar 3-4, and again Gar's already hit this one time and he doubled. 1-7 is a homer, 8-20 is a double, and that's a 9. That's a double, and that's going to probably be all for Ryan, I do believe. So it's a double. Can Soderholm score? That's the question. The double is center field. Bosley has a +2 arm. Soderholm was not being held. He's a 13, makes him a 14. The +2 arm makes him a 16. So 1-16, they're going to send him. And he makes it barely. Just slides in under the tag. It is now 8-3, and that's going to do it for Nolan Ryan. He is going to have to leave, as between his pitching and the defense just is not working out for him. So now Mike Barlow is in on the season in 77, 4-2, 4.58 ERA, 1 start, 1 save. But he's in there to eat some innings. Try to save that bullpen for the doubleheader. So Bannister now will get a chance to pitch or bat against somebody other than Nolan Ryan, because he's 0-3 against Ryan. Got to try to get that hitting streak. He's going to have maybe one more bat after this, and that's going to be it. So the pressure is on Bannister to extend that 15-game streak. Oh, sorry, my bad. Supposed to roll the D20. Forgot to do that. Nothing. Let's re-roll. 4-8, and that's a walk. So still won't extend the streak because the walk doesn't do anything for him. First and second with 1 out, and that's going to send us to George Orta. Orta, nothing on the 20. 4-11 against a lefty, and that's his ballpark single check, which is a 1-5, and that's not going to do it. So it's going to end up being a fly to right field, I believe. Yeah, runner's holding on the fly ball, see, so nobody's going anywhere. So there's 2 down, and that's going to send up Richie Zisk. Nothing on the 20. Zisk. 3-8 for Zisk. That's a single to right field. This could score a run. Gar was not being held. And let's see, he's a 17, runs at an 18. Plus there's 2 outs, that makes it 20. And the right fielder's arm, Baylor's a +4. So that's an automatic. They're not even going to throw. It's an automatic score. Bannister is going to go to third because he runs at a 17. And with the arm and the 2 outs in the first to third and all that, he's going to get third base automatically with no throw. And that's another run for the Sox. They now lead at 9-3. And here's Oscar Gamble. Let's see. Both those runs are charged to Nolan Ryan, so you can close the book on Ryan finally. Some of these runs are unearned. That's a 1, so it's a chance for a wild pitch on Barlow. And a 3 is a wild pitch. That's the way it's been going for him. A wild pitch will score yet another run. That one's charged to Barlow, though. So the wild pitch brings in a run. It's now, I believe, is now 10-3. Nothing on the 20. Oh, that's a foul ball, so let's re-roll that. 5-7 against the lefty is a walk. So the misery continues for the Angels. Runners at first and second for Jim Spencer. 19, nothing's happening. Here's Spencer. 2-7, and that's a fly ball center field B question mark. But there's nobody on third to worry about that, so it's just going to be a fly to center to end the inning. Plus, it doesn't matter about tagging up because that's the third out. So they're going to be profitable and score 3 runs, take a 10-3 lead. And they might be bringing in some of their, well, you know, with the doubleheader coming up, they might, I don't know, they might bring in some of their subs. We'll see. Here's Barrios. He will be facing Dave Kingman. So Kingman will lead it off against Barrios. 6-10, and that's a ground ball to third. Soderholm's got it, 1 away, brings up Don Baylor, who homered his last time up. 6-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. That's Orta. He's a 4 E23. The 11 is what he's trying to avoid on these D6s. And he does. It's a 14, so that's a good play. 2 down. Brings up Danny Goodwin. 3-8 for Goodwin. Grounds to short in the inning. So Barrios is going to at least go 6. His fatigue is 7, so they'd love to get 7 or 8 out of him. 7 for sure, possibly 8. We'll see. Barlow back out. And Chet Lemon, the batter. Chet Lemon. See what he can do. He has not gotten a hit yet. 1-8. He has now. That's a base hit. So Lemon joins the hit parade. He will not be held. Here's Soderholm. Nothing on the 20. Soderholm. Soderholm 6-3 on Barlow. Right field X. So again, that's trouble. That's Baylor. He's a 4. 4 and a 20 though. He'll catch that. E11. Can he avoid the error? That's a 12. E11 and a 12. E11, and there is no 12. And how about that? It's an F3. So the runner, I'm sorry, it's an F3. So the runner will advance to second base. On those I believe F3 is runner advance. I'm sorry, no, it's not. F1 is runner advance. So my bad. Runner has to hold. So he will stay at first. And here's Essien. Nothing on the 20. 3-2 for Essien, and he's hit by the pitch. I wonder when that was going to happen on this blowout. So runners at first and second. Here's Ralph Garr. I believe we're going to start getting some pinch hitters now for the Sox. Get some of their bullpen guys in there, or not bullpen, their bench guys in there. So Royal Stillman is going to bat and take over in left field for Ralph Garr in this blowout. So Royal Stillman, the batter. Stillman with 2 on and 1 out. Facing Barlow, 1-4, and that's a 1-10 single. And that is a single 1-star. It's going to load the bases. So base hit for Stillman has now loaded the bases with only 1 out for Bannister, and he needs to get that. He needs to get that hitting streak. He may even get one more bat after this, but he don't want to take that chance. He needs to get it right here if he's going to ever get it. 6-8, and he just missed it. 6-9 would have been a hit. 6-8 is a ground ball to short. Let's see, the infield would have been double play depth, so the run will score. They get the out. 6-4. You're not. What's the point of playing the infield in when it's already 10-3? I mean, it's kind of pointless. You're trying to avoid bigger innings. So the run does score. So he does get an RBI, but he does not. He still hasn't gotten that hitting streak. So now 2 outs. Runner at first and third. With 2 outs for George Orta. Orta, a 4-5 is a ground ball to second. That's going to end the inning. So 1 run comes in, and that's it. But it is now 11-3, and we have Stillman, the new left fielder. All right, we're going to get some new defensive changes for the Sox as well. Let's see here. We're going to have Jack Brohammer take over at second base for Orta, and Brohammer is much better, or a little bit better defensively. He's a 3-E14. So Brohammer is a 3-E14 and better than that 4 rating that Orta has. So he will take over, and Orta will grab some bench. All right, so Francisco Barrios going to try to keep going. This is his start of his fatigue inning, number 7. And he's going to face Dave Chalk. 1-8 for Chalk. And that's a 1-2 homer. 3-20 is a double. That's a double. So Dave Chalk with a leadoff double. And that will take us to Rance Mullenix. Nothing for Mullenix. 6-7. 6-7 is a ground ball second base X, and immediately Brohammer, the new second baseman, gets tested. He is a 3-E14. 3-19 is a good play. E14 and a 14. E14 and a 14. E14, no 14, so it is a ground out 4-3. Runner will go to third with 1 out. Infield, of course, laying back. Here's Terry Humphrey. Nothing on that. 5-4, fly ball center field X. That's Chet Lemon. He's a 3, E13. 3 and a 4 might drop in for a hit. Probably will. E13 and a 6 I don't think is a problem. No. Oh, 6 is a 2-base error. How about that? And an E4, a 3 and an E4, or 3 and a 4 I should say, is a single 2 stars, plus there's a 2-base error involved. So single will score chalk. Humphrey will single and then go to third on the E8 by Chet Lemon. So how about that? Angels put a runner at third. They're going to still play the infield back because the score is so lopsided. Bosley, 5-2 against Barrios. That's a ballpark home run chance, but for lefties, it's only a 1. That's the only thing that matters, but it would be a sacrifice fly. So it is a sacrifice fly to right field, and it will score Humphrey. It is now 11-5. Bases clear, 2 outs for Jerry Remy. 5-6 is a ground ball to first. That's going to end the inning, and that's going to be it for Barrios. He's going to go 7 and give up 5 runs. So they'll give Barrios the rest of the night off. And Barlow, I believe Barlow is going to stay in there. Yep, he's a long reliever. They got to eat innings. Here's Zisk, the DH now. Let's see. They're going to DH someone else and let somebody else bat for Zisk. And they're going to send up Henry Cruz, and I'm using his computerized card. He doesn't get much playing time, but he will now as a DH in place of Zisk. So Henry Cruz, the batter. 1-6 for Cruz, struck him out, so he didn't do so well. Here's Oscar Gamble, the right fielder. 6-8 against Barlow, and that's a fly to center. That's out number 2. That takes us to Jim Spencer. 5-10, and that's a catcher X. Catcher is Humphrey. He's a 2E4. 2 and a 6 is probably some sort of ground out. And an E4 and a 10. E4 and a 10. Check that out. E4, there is no 10. And a 6 on a 2 is a P-slice sweep, so it's actually a pop out. So it's pop out to end the inning. Nothing doing there for the Sox. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and we'll get a new pitcher for Chicago. And they will turn to right-hander Bart Johnson. Try to get him through 2 innings. He's really been struggling, so they're hoping with this big lead they can afford to pitch him, because he has been struggling big time. Bart Johnson. He's definitely underperforming on the replay. Here's Akins. 4-5, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. That is Bannister. He's a 4, E48. 4 and a 10, he'll get to that. E48. E48 and a 13. Could be trouble. E48 and a 13. Nope, 13's no error there. And he's a 4 and a 10, so he will barely get to it. It is a good play. 6-3 ground out, 1 away. But he needs some help to get a... You got to have 5 batters come to the plate, or 4 batters. They got to have at least 1 hit, or 2 hits, I think, to extend the inning to give him a chance for the hitting streak. Here's Kingman, 3-3, and he's hit by the pitch, so that could be payback for when they hit Essien. We'll see. No umpires have issued a warning now. So next hit batter is an ejection. 2 is a chance for a balk or a pass ball. 4 is a pass ball chance, and it's a 2 rating for Essien. And there's no pass ball, so we go to Baylor. Baylor 6-5. Speaking of hit by pitches, 6-5 struck him out. 2 down, and now Tabby's making noise. She says this game is taking too long and the score is too much. Here's Danny Goodwin. 2 again. We have another chance. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to roll the white die. That's a balk chance, but Bart Johnson has 0 balk rating, so we will continue. Goodwin, 3-6, struck him out. So Bart Johnson Pitches a scoreless eighth. Keeps the score right where it is at 11-5. And now I believe they're going to go ahead and bring in a new pitcher, and it's going to be Dyer Miller. So Dyer Miller, the right-hander, is on for Barlow. Dyer Miller. So here we go. Chet Lemon, Dyer Miller. 5-6. And then split chance, 1 to single. Anything else he lines to short. And it's a liner to short, 1 away. And that brings up Soderholm. 6-7, and that's a 1 to 10 single. Anything else he grounds to first. And that's a grounder to first, so it doesn't look good for Bannister. Essien's going to have to get a hit to continue and give Bannister a chance. 4-12, and that's a ballpark home run chance. And home run chance is 1 to 11 for Essien as a right-hander. That's a 9. It's gone. Jim Essien, a home run. Home run, Jim Essien, and on the season, that's home run number 10, RBI, I believe 45. I think he's already got a RBI in this game. So it is now 12-5, and if Stillman can reach, Bannister will get a chance. It's up to Stillman to reach. 5-12, ground ball first base X, so Akins, 4 E30. 4 and a 14, he will get to that. It's the E30 they got to worry about. E30 and a 7 probably is a good play. E30, yep, a 7's a good play. That's going to end it. And the 15-game hitting streak for Bannister is over. So, and ironically, in all these runs, he does not get the hit. So it is 12-5 as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Bart Johnson will come out and try to mop things up here against these Angels. Dave Chalk will lead things off against Bart Johnson. 6-8. 6-8 is a bad news for Bart Johnson. 1-4 is a triple, 5-20 is a single. And that is a single for Dave Chalk. Leadoff single. And that takes us to Rance Mullenix. Rance Mullenix. Nothing on the 20. 2-7 for Mullenix. Ground ball second base B. It's a fielder's choice. 4-6. 1 away. Brings up Terry Humphrey, the catcher. Humphrey is actually going to be called back, and they will have a pinch hitter, and it will be a lefty, Tony Saleta. So Tony Saleta will pinch hit for Humphrey, just because. Might as well. What does it hurt? He will pinch hit. Nothing on the 20. Here's Saleta. 2-11, and 2-11 is a fly ball to right. So that's 2 down, and now it's up to Thad Bosley. Last chance for the Angels. Thad Bosley. Nothing on the 20. Bosley, 5-8. And that's a strikeout to end the ball game. So Bart Johnson finishes it off. And the Sox finish off the Angels by the final score of 11-5. Winning pitcher was Francisco Barrios. He improves to 10-12. The loser, Nolan Ryan, drops to 23-8. And Angels had 2 errors on top of everything else that they had going for them. And boy, if you want to count the hits, I don't know if you want to go through all that. It's pretty messy. I'll let the computer figure all that out later. So that's game 1 of the doubleheader. And like I said, there's a lot of games they're going to be playing California. The Sox with the win go to 71-66 and end their little 3-game skid. And California drops to 69-66. So Chicago pulls back into 4th place by themselves, 1 game ahead of Chicago. I'm sorry, ahead of California. And game 2 of the doubleheader will be offline. And I didn't write down the thing, but I believe it's Ken Kravick and Gary Nolan are the starting pitchers in that. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of Chicago White Sox baseball, 1977 style Strat-O-Matic. Again, Sox blow out the Angels by the score of 12-5 as they take it to Nolan Ryan and let him have it. And the hitmen were hitting here in Southern California. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.